Hi, grade 1. So we've officially finished our Flat Stanley book. What we're going to do now is, because we've been working on story retelling, we're going to do another little story map of the Flat Stanley book, okay? So I have attached a template if you'd like to use a template, or you can just write it out in your book like this, okay? So we're going to start with, I'm going to give it a title. Flat Stanley story map. I actually have a different, this marker's quite fat, that's okay. Okay, so Flat Stanley story map, okay? You're gonna start off with the characters. Who are the characters in the story? Who are the main characters? We obviously know that Stanley is one. There's a few other ones that I feel you could put in there. Maybe his brother you could put in there, so I'll let you do that. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to direct a little bit. So after you list Stanley, maybe there's a couple other characters. You're going to do the setting, okay? So remember, the setting is when and where. So I'm just going to write that for you. So when and where did the story take place, okay? So Flat Stanley actually took place in several places, so you might want to list two of the main places that it took, that the story was happening in, okay? So you can just list them point form. After the setting is the problem, okay? So I'm going to skip a space here. So there's actually two problems in the story, and I'm going to let you guys think about what those problems are. Okay, there's probably more smaller problems, but there's two big problems in the story. Okay, what are they? I'm going to write problem number 1, problem number 2. After that, after you introduce the problems in the story, you're going to say some events. Okay, so the events are what happens in the middle of the story, okay? So what were some things that happened? And usually you would tell these events in order. So you're not going to talk about the very ending, how Stanley's at the art museum. You wouldn't talk about that first. That what you would talk about at the end, okay? So after he found out the first problem, what are some events that occurred in the middle, okay? You're gonna list 3 events. After this is when you have the solution, and the solution is also what is happening at the end of the story. So this is kind of the ending, when the problem gets solved, okay? So there was 2 problems. How did the one get solved, and how did the other get solved? And I think one of them got solved before the other one, okay? So you're going to talk about the ending. So this is going to be like an initial template of how we're going to learn to retell stories, and eventually we're going to be writing them in sentences, full sentences, all together as one, okay? But this is just getting your mind around, okay, we have the characters, the setting, the problems, the solutions, the events, and stuff like that, okay? So I also, I left a template that if you want to print the template off and use that, you don't have to. You can easily just kind of do it like I did it, except actually fill in the appropriate information. Okay? See ya.